Cumberland North, Cumberland South. I used to know them all. Thank you, Gord.
Do you mind if I use the podium?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I got a few notes here. I won't stay too long, but I don't want to be standing between you and lunch. Obviously, I know you're a little ahead of schedule, but thank you. It's great to be here in Truro, and a great weekend, and the weather's beautiful, and more importantly to you guys, I think the trails are drying up, so it'll be great to see you guys out in the network very soon. Just before I start, just a quick show of hands. How many Toronto Maple Leaf fans do we have in here? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Look, hey. I'm not a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, but man, did they ever play fantastic the other night, didn't they? They really played great. And more importantly, I hope they keep that up, because I'd love to have a repeat of 2013 to see my Bruins walk all over you guys in a couple of weeks. At least there's one Bruins fan here, but no, on a serious note, it's great to be here with you. Thank you, Barry, for the introduction. It's fantastic. I do apologize. I'm not the Premier. Unfortunately, he did have an unscheduled commitment that he did have to go to attend to today. So he does send us apologies for that. But what an incredible team that you guys do have here that's working for you on your behalf and advocating. And over the last 18 months since I've sat in the chair of the ministry, Barry's been a great advocate and certainly kept us on our toes and kept us in light of what's going on. He and the team have kept us in light of what went on over the last number of years, certainly with the pilot project. But more importantly, it's an exciting time for your organization throughout all of Nova Scotia. And for what you do for our trails and network all through it, I can't say a thank you enough. And it's certainly a huge round of applause, anybody that does volunteer work. This week being National Volunteer Week, but I know there's a lot of volunteer hours that go into the network of trails that are throughout the whole province of Nova Scotia. So on our behalf, thank you very much for that dedication and commitment to that. And as Barry did say, I do want to welcome Dave and Tom here, colleagues as well. Huge advocates within our caucus of ATVANS and the Off-Highway Trails Network. So thank you, Tom and Dave, for both being here with us today as well. And it's a great celebration that we can talk, because our province is growing, and even more importantly, as our province grows, and I can see it in my little community, Oxford, that this sport is growing. And my parents live right beside the trail in the Oxford area, and prior to COVID, there'd be a few units going up and down the trail. I was there yesterday afternoon. It was stopped in to see how my dad was doing, and the trail was busy with machines going up and down. This is a huge impact on our economy, and I don't think I have to echo it too loudly here, because you guys know, and I don't have to go too far away from Oxford, and I go down to Advocate. And when I'm in Advocate, I hear from Sarah and Mike Barry. Some of you may have been there at their store in Advocate, but they speak to me on a regular basis of a crew that comes from PEI to Nova Scotia because of our trail network, and they head to Advocate 3 or 4 times in the summer. That's new economic drive that we're getting within our community, and with that economic drive is certainly helping us as a government keep commitments to what we made. And as you all know, healthcare was a commitment that we made, and that's what Nova Scotia elected us on. And you guys are a huge part of that, the economic spin that's been a driving force. And your advocacy for the pilot projects, the shared road program, the advocacy was second to none. I had the privilege to be the fire chief in Oxford for 12 years, and I sat in every council meeting, every committee meeting, and I was sitting there the night that Oxford brought the idea to the table that we want to be a municipality that welcomes off-highway vehicles into our community. And that advocacy hasn't stopped over the last number of years. Actually, it's got stronger since the announcement a few weeks ago. And the mayor actually called me a few weeks ago to thank us for moving that forward. They've set a committee up in Oxford. So I hope all the municipalities throughout Nova Scotia sort of take the reins in this new change in legislative, the new process. And I know that you guys will, as a team and individual off-highway vehicle groups throughout Nova Scotia, I know that you guys are going to be there advocating for it. And I just want to say that on behalf of the Premier and Minister Maslin of Public Works and our whole caucus team, it's an honor to be able to move this forward. This is something that's been looked at for many years. It's something that's been done for, I think, a couple decades, isn't it, Barry, in other jurisdictions. And I don't know how many decades or the time frame, I just forget the exact number, but it's an honor to take our province to the next step. And I know there's still other work to be done. We know that. But we can get that work done together. We certainly can achieve further goals. And it was something that we certainly weren't going to take the changes lightly. We needed to ensure that safety was paramount. And as we follow the rules of the pilot project, as we move to the next trails and things that will be accepted into the roads or within the municipalities, we have to be diligent in making sure that we do it a little faster than we did phase one. Isn't that correct? I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, exactly. But I certainly share the conversation with Minister Maslin because it's our two departments that work hand in hand to ensure that this moves forward. And I certainly share her comments that we are committed to making sure that as applications come in and things come out through Barrie. And that's sort of the message that we've been carrying. We're hearing almost every day in our offices, how do we get our trails connected in our areas? And I guess at the end of the day, I'm sorry to put more work on Barrie, but we're asking right now for them to reach out to Barrie. So your guys' association also understand where these asks are coming from, because every advocacy certainly helps within government. We know that government moves at the pace of a snail, and we don't want to see that with these trails. We want to make sure that our whole economy, our whole trail network is connected for the years to come. And I certainly want to also thank the staff of Public Works and Natural Resources and Renewables to ensure that this pathway was moved forward. And I do apologize, I did miss some of the presentation from Irving, but I think it was 170 kilometers that they were announcing that's connectivity that I think the land was already being used, but it's finally sort of legalities and defined on paper. And that's a huge commitment to the trail network and these clubs that are moving forward. So, like I said, I don't have a great big long speech. I do apologize again for the Premier. Sorry that it's just the Minister that's here talking, but it's such an honor to be up here and to recognize your group, the commitment that you all have done. And like I said, especially where it's National Volunteer Week, and many of you are volunteering for your communities. And making sure the trails are available and safe for every one of us to be utilizing. I had the benefit when I was first elected in 2018. Our local club actually did an elected officials tour, and we did part of Cumberland County into Colchester County and back. And it was an eye opener for a lot of elected officials that never had a chance to be on a machine, let alone to be on a trail and actually see the impacts. We actually invited RCMP to it. We invited Natural Resources at the time, and we stopped along the trail network into the businesses to also allow the elected officials to hear the impact that these trails have on the businesses. And anyway, in closing, I think it's a huge celebration that we're able to connect those resources to the trails. And as I said, much more work to be done, but I hope you understand that we certainly have an ally here. I want to thank Barry, you and your group of dedicated volunteers and members within the organization to keep us on our toes and to keep this sport moving in a positive manner, because we certainly can welcome many more people to the province of Nova Scotia for this sport, whether they're coming here to move or coming here to visit in the weekend like they do and advocate from PEI. Our doors are open, and we're pleased to be a part of that. So thank you guys very much, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Enjoy lunch, and go Bruins. Thank you very much.